Kids, Dr. Neff again of the 7 Deadly Spins coming to you from, well, the heart of Woodhaven in front of this beautiful orange shipping container. Because it's time, once again, for that little show I've been putting together every once in a while about some ways that you can learn to be an MC if that's what you want to do. Now, this is kind of a special episode because this is also going to be my demo reel for a convention that we're putting a bid into very soon. So, you know, consider yourselves lucky. I consider you guys important enough as our fans that you're going to get to see my demo reel. Well, the biggest part of today's episode is that when you're on stage, there are no retakes. You don't get to think real hard about what you're going to say, and if you screw up what you're saying, you don't get to do it again. Nobody's going to say cut and stop the tape and let you do it better so they can cut in a better time. No, it doesn't happen that way. You need to be ready at all times to say what needs to be said, articulated in a fashion that is understandable. And hopefully in an excited voice, because if you're not excited, the kids in the crowd know you're not excited. We talked about that in the previous episode. However, we're not here to talk about the previous episode. We're here to talk about introductions. We're going to cover introducing your talent. We're going to cover making your talent feel loved. And we're going to cover what to do when something goes wrong. Because sometimes something's going to go wrong. God help you, something will go wrong. And if you're the one on the mic and you're not ready to deal with it, well, then you're going to lose the crowd. And if you lose the crowd, you know the drill by now. You lose the crowd, you lose the gig. You lose the gig, you lose the money. The money's not what's important, but if you don't have the money, you can't go to the gig. So, there's that. So first, let's talk a little bit about introductions. Unless you are a freelance MC, as some of the MCs that I've met on the circuit are, you're probably not going to be working with the same people all the time. I'm not specifically a freelance MC. I work almost exclusively with the 7 Deadly Spins, primarily with DJ 4X and DJ XMFD, who have both been in previous videos. So you don't have to necessarily remember somebody's name. You know, it's going to be, and that's the end of 4X's set, ladies and gentlemen. Give him some love, and get ready for DJ XMFD coming up right after this bass drop or whatever your transitional choice is. So, you know, we're just going to cut to some video from Ayumakan to give you guys an idea of how a good introduction works.
DJ XMFD, give him some love. Because he loves you. What? I do. See, I told you.
Got 15 seconds.
Alright guys, I need you to give it up one more time for XMFD. He's getting off the table. I want you to give it up for Tora up on the stage dancing like a maniac all night. And coming harder and faster and heavier, my dearest friend DJ 4X right now. Show some love.
So there you go. You know, that's pretty simple. I've given you a live example. I didn't have anybody to back me up there. It was either get the introductions right or, you know, bomb. And along with those introductions comes getting the crowd hyped. Core of it, you're the master of ceremony, sure, you've got a neat title, but your job is hype. You get the crowd hype. You get that bitch turned up, if you'll excuse my particular phrasing there. And as I mentioned in the previous episode, really watch your mouth when you're on stage. Don't swear. Criminy. That's a huge faux pas when you're not sure what the general age of the audience is going to be. And at most anime conventions, the general age of the audience isn't going to be necessarily over 18. So keep that in mind. But as far as getting the crowd hyped goes, it's real simple. Every once in a while, you just come up on the mic during a lull in the music. If you don't know the song the DJ's playing, you need to get down and look at his little computer thing if he happens to be using a computer thing, or you need to ask him where the lull in the music's going to be. If you can see his little computer thing, you can see it on the beat report on the computer screen, and that's great. But you find a lull in the music. Don't cover up a good beat with your annoying voice. Find a lull in the music, and then it's just as simple as asking them to make some noise. And if they don't make enough noise for you, tell them they didn't make enough noise for you. Make them try again. Make them do it until they do it right. And why don't we cut to some video just so you guys get a good example of how that works.
Question. You guys want a little faster? Repping up the BPM? If you want some higher BPM, you need to give 4X some love, because he's going to speed it up for ya. You guys got any love left in you? I said, do you have any love left in you? Thank you, that wasn't so hard. You want to keep going? Good, because here it comes. If you want all the love that XMFD's got to give, you better get up here by the stage and dance for him. Come on. Come on. It's about time to make some noise. If you know the words to this one, you better sing along, because it's going to make XMFD love you even more. Waking up to action dust. I want my world and I swear my rust. Hanging in your chemicals.
It's not that hard. And that leads us to the last and quite possibly most important part of this video. Sometimes something's going to happen. A power supply is going to fail. A computer's going to shut down. The speakers are going to stop working. Somebody's going to trip over the one cable that disconnects the music from everything else. It doesn't matter. Something's going to happen, and you can never predict it, and you're probably not going to be able to do a whole lot about it. But you have a job. You're the MC. It's your job to keep the party moving. So, when that happens, what are you going to do? Well, you can do what I do and plan for things like that. Always have somebody in the audience that you know is talented, who can come up and do something with just the microphone. Flashburn Beatbox. He's going to come up in basically every video, because he's saved us a couple times at this point when we've had some issues with technology. For instance, the first time we had a major issue, several years ago, there was a fella in the audience who I had met earlier at the convention who was a singer in a rock band, did a lot of cover songs, knew a lot of old music that everybody knew. He came up on stage and he sang for us. It's really, really simple to cover that if you have it in mind. If you don't have it in mind, you got to cover it yourself. If you don't have somebody who can come up and take care of it, you got to cover it yourself. And that's where it helps to know songs that your audience knows. We get a lot of mileage out of the Pokemon theme song, okay? In fact, let me show you how much mileage we get out of the Pokemon theme song.
To catch them is my real test. To train them is my cause. I will travel across
Pokemon, gotta catch 'em, so true. Our chords will pull us through. You teach me and I'll teach you. Pokemon, gotta catch 'em all, gotta catch 'em all.
See? Pretty easy to just start singing a song you know everybody's gonna know. If you happen to be quick on your feet up here, do a little stand-up comedy. You know, Rickroll them. Like this.
So do I. No commitment's what I'm thinking of. You wouldn't get this from any other guy. I just wanna tell you how I'm feeling. Gotta make you understand. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around and hurt you. Never gonna make you cry. Never gonna say goodbye. Never gonna tell a lie and hurt you.
I've been
Easy enough. There's a lot of songs at an anime convention that everybody's gonna know. They're all denizens of this great internet that we love so much. If there's a song that has reached mimetic proportions, like the Rickroll or the Pokemon theme song, run with it. We got really lucky last time, and one of our stage dancers, hi Tora, knew the words to Caramel Dancing. Check this shit out.
You're so mean. Today the melody. You're so mean. You're technology. Single dance. Listen all night.
And the crowd was nuts for it. So, you know, work on your introductions. I'm making a video here off the top of my head. I don't have a script. I'm not going to cut anything except to drop in the stuff that you've seen previously. And there are no retakes, because I don't get to work with retakes on stage. Why should I get them just because I'm out in front of a shipping container and somebody's got my phone pointed at my face? That's how this works. So yeah, I'm having a lot of verbal pauses, but you don't want to have those on stage. You don't want to be on stage and go, DJ music happen. No. When you're on stage, you got to overcome your stage fright, and you got to really just step it up. And brass tacks, if you're going to pause in the middle of saying something, you might lose your window to say something in the first place, and you'll break up the flow of the party. You don't want to do that. Just some other tips. If you see somebody in the crowd doing something crazy, like crazy awesome, not like backflips, because we've had some backflip issues in the past. I don't ever want to have to say to the crowd, ladies and gentlemen, can we please stop the acrobatics, because I think that guy might really be dead again. That wasn't fun. Don't point out people doing stupid things. Point them out doing awesome things. In fact, this next clip should be a clip of somebody doing something really, really awesome. And I took the time to point them out. I don't think the clip has me in it, because I wasn't the one in control of the camera. But that's neither here nor there. Just when you see something like this, make sure the crowd knows about it. They like that. People in the crowd like when they're given the spotlight, especially when they're doing something as awesome as this is.
The bro sick ninja over here has clearly been eating his Wheaties. This next song is Breakfast of Champions. Give some love to this man. horse.
What have you
I love how they did it.
Scream for me.
They are your slaves! They are your slaves!
See? I mean, that was pretty nuts, right? The dude with the spinning the things. Yeah. Anyway, I guess that's all we've got. So, I've been Dr. Neff, as always. And, thanks for sitting through this video. And I hope we see you at our next rave. Cheers, kids.